Alrighty, so we got some plants today. We went to Bob Wells Nursery. Big shout out to them. Bob Wells Nursery's an amazing, wonderful place. Good people and lots and lots of flowers and trees and shrubs and all kinds of things to choose from, including they actually have some seed starts there right now. So they have some strawberry and pepper and tomato and things like that. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to them. I don't know them, I don't get paid by them, not sponsored, nothing like that. I've met them a couple times, and even their children are always very kind. Good people, great greenhouse slash property. Just lots and lots of plants. And if you get a chance, go online, check them out. That's Bob Wells Nursery. We bought all of our trees from them. Joe bought us about $1,000 worth of trees. I think we probably bought $1,000 or $2,000 worth of trees over time. Anyway, I want to give you guys a little peek at what we went and got today. What is today? The 26th? Yeah, Saturday, March 26th. And kind of give you an update too on how some of the rest of them are doing from my previous videos, and how the cold affected us and kind of wiped out some of our stuff. So we got some stuff to replace the stuff that it wiped out. And then we also got some new stuff, because why not, right? So let's take a look and check it out. So this right here is what we picked up today. Like, we got 11 trees, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, yeah. And we also got some vegetables from them. So we got a bunch of these citrus to kind of replace what we've lost. We lost our Mayor lemon, the improved Mayor lemon. So we got us a new one from them. And I mean, just look how gorgeous these plants are. Super healthy, doing super well. And they were able to, from what one of the guys working out there told me, they were able to save quite a bit of stuff. They did lose some things. I think everybody did. But still outstanding looking plants. This one right here is the Republic of Texas orange. I had a Hamlin orange and we lost it. And that's not so much the reason why I didn't replace it with another Hamlin, as much as when we first got the Hamlin, it was doing great. We put it out in a pot, and then, I mean, months were going by, and you know, the summer heat and stuff like that. The Hamlin started to kind of get real thin, kind of get real sparse on leaves. Almost seemed like it was having a hard time with the heat. And we kept them watered, fertilized, all that kind of stuff. I'll actually show you what we kept them in. So back behind the greenhouse here, we had them in these pots right here. And I want to say it was that one. So these are what's left from what we lost. The only thing that survived was the sweet kumquat here, and it's actually coming back and producing. Everything else started regrowing from the rootstock. Everything above the rootstock died. So we're gonna take these out, put them in the regular pots like those over there. See what we get out of the rootstock. We may be able to utilize that later. I got some more kumquat and things like that. We could probably stick on there. Same thing here. This little guy's putting off a couple. Same thing there. They're just kind of tiny. But anyway, so we're going to utilize these pots, and we're going to get everything back in there. Like I was saying, that Hamlin orange was in one of those, and I thought it was going to be done for. And then wintertime came around, and well, I guess fall came around, and the plant just started, in the greenhouse, started just putting off all new leaves. It was wonderful. I mean, it came back. It was looking good. It was looking like this one right here. A lot of the sunburnt leaves from the sunlight had fallen off, and it was doing good until we got that freeze. That freeze ended its life, and a lot of stuff. It was just too much for our area. So I kind of just said, you know what, maybe maybe we don't want to do the Hamlin orange, or maybe later on or something like that. So we want to be able to utilize all of these in and out of the greenhouse from time to time, and utilize the greenhouse with heat, so that way we're not having to drag them inside and have our house taking up a lot of space. But anyway, moving on, we'll take a look at the rest of them. We got another Persian lime and the improved Mayor lemon. Those were two that we did previously have. We decided to go with this unique little plant right here. This is a orange tangelo from Bob Wells Nursery. It looks like he's doing really good. Got a bunch of flowers, got a bunch of impregnated flowers, so we got some tangelos going to be coming out for too long. I'm going to try to be super easy when transplanting these two. I'm not really going to break up the roots. I'm just going to stick them in those other pots and let them grow out into it. I mean, unless I got a really bad case of wraparound, then I'll probably mess with them. And then this guy right here is a, let's try this again. Flavor top nectarine. So our nectarine that we had, it bloomed super early and put off leaves super early. I mean, it was full, it was thick, lots of branches. It almost looked like this guy right here. And then that cold hit and it died completely back. So we're gonna replace that one. And then we're also gonna replace our cherry tree that died. And we're gonna go with a Lampin's cherry tree. This looks pretty good. Looks like it was growing pretty well. Look at the stalk on that bad boy. This big, like the size of a Coke can. It's nice. It does worry me when they're off-centered quite a bit, but I may just need to put some more stuff over this to kind of keep it from absorbing water, rot, or bugs, or anything like that. But exceptionally well-growing tree, so definitely going to be looking forward to seeing how well this does here. They're not all tattered like my last group was, so I stuck them inside my truck and drove them here, and they're doing really well. The other thing we got is, look at this beautiful Granny Smith apple. 35 bucks. It's a great tree. It looks wonderful. Will do well. I always try to support my nurseries, man. You can buy these things, Tractor Supply, Home Depot, things like that. You can probably get them cheaper, maybe. But you can't beat the selection at Bob Wells. They have so many trees. I think it's like 100 acres, and then I think, what do they say, like 10 acres of which is what they're producing. Don't hold me to that. I could be wrong. If I am, I'm sorry, Bob Wells, but I think it's about 10 acres worth that they're actually growing this stuff on, producing, and got it out front to where you can walk down rows and rows and rows of beautiful trees to choose from. And that Granny Smith just looks great. And I saw this, and I'd seen it before in the past on other people's YouTube videos of a tree that they had, and I couldn't help myself. I was like, this thing is so pretty. I love it, from the mint looking leaves to them big snowball flowers. It's a Chinese snowball, and at only 30 bucks. So you could go to the big box stores and stuff like that, and you can buy their plants, but it's always better to go to a nursery and support your local nursery growers. And the price really isn't that different at all. Like if you go buy this at Home Depot, you might get half the size looking plant for the same price, or partially diseased. You have no idea what they've been going through on their way to you, and they're not going to take care of their stuff the way that the nurseries will. I already showed you the Persian lime. Next up, we got this gigantic fella. So we got this to help with pollinating our apples. This is a Robinson pink flowering crab apple. It's already got a bunch on there. Whole bunch of little crab apples wanting to come out, but it's a big boy. It is definitely a big tree, and I absolutely love the color. I like the multi-tone, so green on one side and then red on the underside, and it produces really beautiful pink flowers. It doesn't have any right now because I drove it home in the back of my truck because it was so tall. And I think I lost the majority of the flowers that were on it. But that's okay. There's one. I got one left right there. That'll be all right. It's gonna be really good looking when it comes back around. The other one we got was a Jonah Golden apple. So it's a mix between a Jonathan apple and a Golden Delicious. And my name is Jonathan, so it just made sense that I get one. It looked really good. I mean, just the way everything's growing out branch-wise, it was beautiful. And then the Dulgo fruiting crab apple. This is a beautiful white one. This will definitely, both of these crab apples will definitely help our apples pollinate and make sure that they get pollinated well and stuff like that. Look at that, it's already got some. It's already got some up there. Looks like some swollen buds there at the bottom. So that'd be nice if it produces. I got a funny feeling I'll probably lose a lot of that stuff once I disturb their roots and put them in the ground. But those are the 11 trees we bought today. I'm sure we'll be back to get more eventually. I wish I had more yard. That would be cool. More area to plant. So let's give you a little peek at my greenhouse here. I started a bunch of cuttings myself. I got a buttload of apple in here. A lot of them have died back. Didn't do too well. I do not recommend, I absolutely do not recommend using peat moss as a medium for rooting. It just seems to mess with things. It messes with the growth. I had figs like this right here that had a ton of growth on it, a ton of roots inside, and then just all of a sudden, all those roots started to just rot away and die back. I didn't overwater. The bags were sealed. They had very, very, very little moisture in them. Hell, you can still kind of tell if you could look past the moisture that's gathering at the top. It's pretty brown, light brown at the top right there. They have a very small amount of water in them. Not very much at all. You can see dry spots in this one here and there. And I think maybe some other soilless medium might be the better way to go. I think next time around I'm going to try more sand, a little bit of peat, and I was thinking about going maybe like some organic compost, like something that's got like a 5-5-5, so that way if they do start rooting, they have something to grow into. I know it says to use a soilless medium, but when it happens in nature, guess what it falls into? Soil. So I don't see why it wouldn't work, and it'll get them closer to what they're going to be growing in anyway. Like, I'm worried that when these come out and I put them in potting soil or something like that, the roots are going to take a little bit of a shock because they're not going to know what the hell they're growing in all of a sudden. I'm not going to be used to it. So like this one did really well. It put off a whole bunch of stuff and then it died off. But there's tons of roots. If you pop this bad boy open, a lot of these roots are dead. They're not alive anymore, which I don't understand. Hey, Captain, there's my Captain boy. What are you doing? What are you doing? As always, Captain's coming to say hi to the camera. Say hi, Captain. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. No. He just wants me to love on him. Some of the other cuttings that I've stuck are doing well. This was a, get out of there, Captain. No. Oops, sorry. I put my hand in front of the camera. This was a cutting from a variegated pink lemon frost. And it's coming to life, so is its little buddy there, and this one is too. All three of those are doing well. Here's one of the other variegated. It actually has leaves on it still. Here's another one there. So I have some variegated pink lemon frost, like what we lost, to try to do grafts on these over here. And that's what my goal is there, if I can get some to come back to life. And then that thing right there is a lime. I don't know which one, because I'm horrible about labeling things properly. And sorry, a bug just flipped my nose. Grody, Here were a bunch of cuttings from my brother-in-law, Joe, the same one that bought us about $1,000 worth of trees from Bob Wells Nursery. This is an atomic red flowering nectarine. I was getting tired of messing with the bags and losing plants and stuff, so I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna take one of these pots, filled it with sand and peat moss, trying to figure out which soil medium does better, stuck those down in here, and then just put them outside, out in the greenhouse, just to see what happened. So we had the cold hit, everything else hit, and look at them. All these are coming to life. And gonna do something, well, maybe not all of them, some of these don't look too bueno, but quite a few out of that bunch. I think I stuck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of the 9, so about 50% success rate, just not giving a damn. Worked way better than some of this that I've tried to do, and I lost so many. Putting so much effort into it just to ultimately lose more than 50% of them. Same thing with these roses. These were all stuck cuttings that were stuck. I dig these up from work sometimes. I go to my buildings and they'll have different trees and things that are growing up in flower beds that they're gonna whack away anyway. I'll go out there and pull them up, bring them home, pot them, give them a second chance. This is a bunch of weeds and stuff growing. There was supposed to be a tree coming up in there and it doesn't look like it's gonna. The other tree that I took off my property back here, I planted, it's a Chinese tree, and it looks like it's actually putting off leaves. This one was down by the pond. It's doing good, it's coming back. Her lamb's ear is doing great. There's like 15 plants in there. My kumquat seedlings, I've lost a couple of those, but they're okay. They're coming back. The mint. I got one kumquat over here I gotta show you. It's awesome. Don't pay attention to those yet. I'm gonna get to those. Not yet. Not yet. So this is my kumquat that I started from seed, and it just looks breathtakingly nice. I put a whole bunch of red buds in these. It looks like I got about a 1% success rate because there was tons of them that dropped in there. Our mango is doing okay down there. It's putting off some new life. These are some more seedlings from the kumquat. Poinsettia. I had to play around with that and see what happens. So these are some that I just stuck out here. They were in those bags. Those bags got holes in them. It rained and filled that tub up with water, so I had to yank them out. Took them out of their what do you call it? Peat moss, and just shoved them in this mixture that I've made, and said screw it. We're just gonna let them do their own thing and see what happens. These could all die away, or they could produce tons of roots, and I'll have, you know, apple, fig. I think this one was a nectarine maybe, or another apple. I don't even pay attention. No, that's apple, that's apple, that's apple. That's nectarine, that's nectarine. And I want to say that's apple maybe. And then in the back there we got some Russian pomegranate. See how well that does. These are the hydrangeas I took from one of our buildings. They're doing great. Success rate was kind of, I'm not sure. We had a buttload of ants get in this, and at first it seemed like I had a whole bunch in here that were going to make it, and then the cold hit, so these died back again. But then they came back again, and I managed to get the ants out of it by sprinkling some Sevin dust in there, and I'll have those too. And then I think I had another one somewhere. Oh, I remember now. I put one in the middle of these that I had stuck. So there's one right there. The rest of these are just a wild tree that I was trying to clone out in the yard. But if you look right there, see if it'll zoom in for me. Now, right there, it's budding out. So I think I got about half of those. It's just a wild tree I have out here in the yard. It grows really pretty. And then a whole bunch of cuttings from her Mexican petunias. So I have Mexican petunias out the wazoo. A bunch of cedars I had taken from one of our buildings that were growing out back, kind of in the shade. I knew they wouldn't do that well, and there's still about a gazillion more. So I grabbed all the cedars, brought them back, potted them, sprayed them for different types of diseases and things like that, and then waiting to see how well they do. I mean, they look pretty good. Got a ton of growth. They're not even pokey, they're just soft almost. Little oak tree I pulled up in the yard. This is a camellia or something like that. I don't remember, it's one of her plants. Doesn't seem to be doing as well as the ones outside. I don't remember what that is. It's a herb. Some more roses back there. We propagated some of the lavender from last year. Throw them into these pots. This one was super green and this one wasn't doing nothing. Now this one's super green and that one looks like it's dying. So we might not get all those. There's another one right there. More of the cedars. Some more of the oaks. And then these guys that I pulled from one of our properties too. The dogwoods are doing good. They're all putting off leaves like crazy. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I got more Mexican petunias popping out of that thing. We managed to clone some of her potato ivy. I think that's pretty much it as far as all this stuff goes in here. Oh, this is one I saved out of the yard in the bucket. It's a really pretty tree. I have no idea what it is. It almost has... I'm still recording? Okay, cool. Woo! That was crazy. Dropped my phone. How professional is that? Alright, so I'm not sure what kind of tree it is. If you guys can tell me, that'd be cool. Got really pretty leaves and a really pretty bark that almost looks like a fruit tree. But I'm trying to get it to do well out here. It was inside all winter, so it may be a little pissed at me for putting it outside. See how that goes. I like these dogwoods. They are really, really pretty. They're just growing wild out in the city in Fort Worth at one of our buildings, and I was like, well, can't have that. Jesus. Jeez, that weed is huge. How do these get to this point? I'll never understand. Look at that. So, I mean, I know my soul's doing good, but keeping these weeds out, it's kind of hard to do. Got some more of these that I've cloned. I can't remember what they're called. They produce a flower. We got a couple of those down in there, leaning like none other. They almost actually started to die and then they came back. So all I gotta do is just snip these off and stick them in dirt and they re-root. But yeah, got these from one of our buildings and they've just been doing great. Another little baby cedar I pulled up. That's a red bud right there, but it ain't really doing nothing. I don't know if it's alive or not. Also pulled it out of the ground at one point. We got more of her roses that I've cloned have just taken off. It's doing great. This is Mexican petunia that's out in the sun, so it looks like poo. But I suppose that happens. Not sure what we got going on over here. What is this? Oh, this looks like a tree. Huh. These are pots that stuff just didn't take off in, so I set it out here. Alright, sorry, wandering off. So back to these goodies over here. These goodies. So I went Tractor Supply. I know what I said about big box places, but they were on sale, so I couldn't help myself. Bought about 6 plants off of them. I think it was like half price or something like that. And I figured they wouldn't do very well. I mean, look at them. They look diseased. I kind of did it also for a experiment. I want to see how well these things would do. Bringing them home, potting them up differently. I mean, look at it. It just looks melted. It looks like crap. The whole top part of this looks like it died off. You know, it's in the same medium as all the other stuff. These were plums. And then some Sam Houston peach. It looks like crap, looks diseased. I've sprayed them all down, but I don't know how well they'll do. That one looks That one looks pretty poor. And that's my point. You can go to the box stores, you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's or Tractor Supply, and you can pay $14 for this tiny little ass plant. Or you can double your money and go buy a peach that is closer to the size of one of these plants. Well, way more established and doing much better than these guys are doing. So I wanted to kind of run an experiment, see how well they do. One, as far as disease goes and things like that, and then two, see how well they do in pots and things like that. See if I can get them any bigger before I plant them in the ground. Maybe I just need to put them in the ground now. And then we picked up these guys here today at Bob Wells. They have a whole bunch of really gorgeous looking peppers, and that's pepper as well, tomatoes. I got some strawberries back there in the back, and they just look phenomenal. I mean, one little strawberry plant right there, and it's already producing. Really nice. So that was today's order. These little guys right here, and all this right here in the front. Now I just need to get them in the ground. Some of these are going to be a little tough to figure out where to put them. My last apples didn't look like they're doing too well, but we shall find out. So now I'll give you a tour of the rest of the plants on the property. We have got them everywhere. We moved all of our grapes over here to the fence so they can grow down the fence line. I think that's the purple grape. I think this is the green grape. I don't remember. But they survived the winter and are producing. So stoked about that. I had to cut some of it back. This one actually had a long leader line that died back. And I think this one might also die off. Until we know for sure though, they're staying put. So there's those. Oh, you know what? Let me show you something real quick. I dug this up from out back. And I absolutely love red buds. They are one of the prettiest things I think I've ever seen. Red buds and dogwoods. Dug this up outside. People say it's so hard to transplant red buds. No, it ain't. The root for this thing goes all the way down over here. Literally almost lays flat because that's how it came out of the ground. So I just put it in the ground right the exact same way it was, and we got flowers and not so much flowers but leaves and stuff growing off. So I'm excited to see how well this guy does. Love me some red buds. Anyway, moving on. So the figs, unfortunately my figs, they died all the way back to the ground, and I still don't see no growth, so I might have lost them completely. They were pretty good size. They're just not doing. And then again, hypocrite me, saw them growing in store, and they were half off. So they're mostly just flowers though. They're not anything else. I got some azaleas, some Rose of Sharon, and some hydrangeas. This is 2 of each one. I figured it'd be nice for the wifey to enjoy. And hey, maybe I can clone them. Get some more plants off of them. So there's my mulch pile. It was twice as tall, but it's gone out on the yard. This is a cedar that I transplanted over here. This is one I dug up in the backyard and planted, and I don't think it's gonna do that well because I think I damaged the roots, and then we had that cold hit. But cedar takes a long time to find out. So I gotta wait and see. I thought it wasn't doing good, and then I lifted it up and I could see the greener growth on the bottom. And so I don't know. I do not know. There's Mama. This is one I picked up on sale. Beautiful tree. Had a beautiful form. I couldn't just leave it there. I think I paid $15 for a tree that's normally like 80 bucks. But it looks great. It's got the flowers and the leaves coming out. She can look right out the kitchen window and boom, have that wonderful view instead of just dog poop in Captain's area. Over here, we have our blueberries. These blueberries are doing friggin' fantastic. Now, I can't remember if we got these blueberries at Bob Wells or if we bought them at another nursery over in Lindale. But they are doing great. They look good, starting to produce leaves like crazy, even some flowers. That's nice. Get the bees going here soon. They handled the cold absolutely fine. Not a problem. This one got messed up, tree branch fell on it and broke it off, so that is what's left. And it's starting to produce some bulbs, I think. Yeah, flowers. And then we have Mama's cannas or whatever coming back up. They're getting ready to fill in. We really want to do this whole area through here with cannas, mulch it, and all that kind of stuff. We get these wild flower looking things growing. I don't know what the hell they are. But until then, that'll be a later project. I've got so many projects going on, guys. I'm sorry I don't record more videos for you. I just get so busy. Most of the roses died back, but they're coming back to life now. This is a really pretty one right here. This was a, well, it doesn't say the name, it just says cut rose. Okay, it's a cut rose. Planted some different things down in here. Look, that one's getting ready to open up. How gorgeous, huh? I got some more coming up. Here and there, ignore all those weeds. All kinds of flowers in here. We keep the rain coming the way it is. They'll come back. All these died down to the ground, so I pretty much had to whack them, and they're all coming back to life. Those things aren't doing too well. The pencil hollies, I feel like are gonna be a waste of money. Just don't grow too well. All of my Italian cypress trees look a little rough, but they are still alive and should bounce back. Hell, even all my cedars down there, they were all brown and red during the winter. Scared the hell out of me. I paid a lot of money for that. It was $500 worth of cedar trees. The Mexican petunias are coming back to life. That's lavender. Lavender's coming back to life. And right here, you can barely see it, but it's coming back to life. Mexican heather. And then got the double knockout roses are doing great. They're definitely blooming back in. I'm missing my pencil holly back here because it died. This is another one from Bob Wells Nursery. I got this for the wife on Mother's Day. She's been really wanting one. This is a magnolia tree. It did get hit by the cold a little bit. This is a D.D. Blanchard magnolia that I bought from them. It was one of the last ones that they had. Very good looking tree, about 5 feet tall. Got it planted, got some mulch around it, got me some rock for putting nutrients straight down to them roots and water if need